This is the last and only how to lose body fat video you will ever need, hopefully. Pretty bold video title, right? Yes. So I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary here and attempt to have this video right here to be the last and only guide you'll ever need to know how to lose body fat the right way. The sustainable way. The way where you're gonna look at yourself 6 months from now and be like, God damn, I did it. And I didn't even have to cut out any foods or do intermittent fasting or do shit tons of cardio like the other crap bags on social media are telling you to do. So if you're a busy professional trying to finally achieve your best body, regardless of age, genetics, or any other excuses, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel because I'm doing this all for you. Firstly, some of the most common questions around fat loss. Why is losing body fat so important in the first place? Do you need washboard abs to be healthy? And how much fat should you lose to be healthy? So do you need washboard abs to be healthy? Well, hell no. I know people that are living at skeleton levels of body fat and they're miserable and lethargic all the time. But I also know people, including myself, who could stay around 10% body fat all year round, have visible abs, and still enjoy food freedom and flexibility. That's the ultimate goal right there, if you ask me, right? To be at healthy body fat range that you can sustain, that will help you avoid future illness, and where you have high energy levels. And so how much fat should you lose to be healthy? Well, we get our male clients down to about 14 to 16% body fat, and we get our female clients down to about 20 to 24%. And then we teach them how to maintain. If they want to get any leaner for whatever reason, we can certainly guide them there too, but we just have to make them aware of the sacrifices required in order to stay at a very lean body fat percentage. That means less social meals, way less flexibility with food choices, and potentially lower energy levels overall. Okay, moving on. So if you want to lose fat, you should understand the hierarchy of priority first. Too many people jump into a fat loss journey without actually understanding the mechanism behind how the body eliminates fat. And that's when people go to unsustainable methods like keto, strict fasting, or running 10 kilometers every day. You need to understand that fat loss ultimately comes down to a calorie balance. Calories in, calories out. You will only burn stored body fat if you are consistently in a calorie deficit where you are expending more calories than you consume. The key word there is consistently. And if you're watching this right now and you're saying, I was in a calorie deficit, Darren, but I didn't lose any weight. Sorry, bro, you weren't in a calorie deficit. Either you were tracking your food incorrectly or inconsistently, very likely both. And I highly suggest getting some expert to help you on teaching you how to track your food in any and every situation. Because if you're eyeballing most of your food, you're likely underestimating the amount you're eating by 500 to 1,000 calories per day. Okay, so now you understand that calories are king for fat loss. No calorie deficit, no fat loss. The second on the hierarchy is protein. Protein will ensure that you don't lose any muscle mass when you do diet down. And you'll see people do this very aggressive cuts without prioritizing protein. And the result is that they lose muscle along with the weight, not just fat. And that will drive your metabolism too low too fast, which will eventually lead for more hunger, more food consumed, and then the rebound weight gain. Huge no-no. Protein will also ensure that you stay full throughout the day, as protein is a very satiating macronutrient. You gotta make sure that protein is the main event of most, if not all of your meals, and I will show you how much protein you actually need in a bit. The third on the priority list is strength training. So a lot of you still believe that cardio should be prioritized over strength. You're gonna have to do some serious unlearning and relearning in this channel because yes, you burn calories during a cardio session, but you stop burning calories once you stop. But once you pack on muscle with strength training, you will increase your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, which allows you to burn more calories at rest, so you can burn more calories all day long, even when you're sitting there watching me rant. But also you wanna look like you work out as well, right? And putting on muscle is that key to changing your body composition for that dream body you're trying to shoot for. But cardio does come next on the priority list. And yes, doing cardio does burn calories and can help you create your deficit, but we don't wanna heavily rely on cardio to do this. Because one, it's hard to accurately gauge how many calories you burn through cardio and exercise, and two, you don't burn as many calories as you think you do. And this is why we're gonna focus on getting you into a calorie deficit by controlling your food intake. Cardio is great for cardiovascular health, brain health, and heart health, and for longevity, but it's not great for fat loss. The most effective cardio for fat loss is simply walking and hitting a step goal every day. Aim for 7,000 steps as a start and then work your way up. And finally, the lowest on the priority list are supplements. There is no use buying all types of supplements if you haven't nailed down the basics. All the fat burning pills, apple cider vinegar gummies, bulletproof coffee, all bullshit. Spend your money on lean protein and loads of fruit and vegetables, and you're gonna make far more progress. All right, finally, Darren, please, a real life example to show me how to lose body fat the right way. Are you ready? Okay, so meet Bob. Bob is 200 pounds and he wants to lose 40 pounds. We first need to figure out an appropriate rate of fat loss for Bob. So since I'm his coach, I'm going to suggest that he takes a moderate approach and aims to lose about 0.5 to 1% of his total body weight per week. And we do the same for most of our clients, and it works. So what does 0.5 to 1% of his body weight look like per week? Well, 200 times 0.5 is 1 pound, and 200 times 1% equals 2 pounds. Therefore, I will give Bob his calorie targets that would elicit about a loss of 1 to 2 pounds every week, depending on how aggressive he wants to lose it. If he wants his journey to be sustainable as possible, I'm going to advise that he loses closer to 1 pound per week. All right, great. Now let's figure out how much he needs to eat in order to lose this weight. So in order to figure out his fat loss calories, we need to first figure out how much food Bob needs to eat to maintain his current body weight. This is called his maintenance calories. And we will retrieve this number by multiplying his body weight in pounds by 14. Why 14? Because the consensus of research suggests that the body roughly needs 14 calories per pound of body weight to maintain weight. Now, of course, there are many factors that play into someone's TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. This is why it's highly beneficial to have an expert assess your food tracking and body metrics week by week to ensure you are progressing in the right direction. Okay, so Bob, let's figure out your maintenance calories. 200 times 14 equals 2,800 calories. Therefore, Bob needs to eat roughly 2,800 calories per day to maintain his weight of 200 pounds. Now that we know his maintenance, we can calculate how many calories he should eat to lose 1 pound a week. Since 1 pound of fat equals roughly 3,500 calories, that means by the end of each week, Bob needs to create a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. And if I put this into weekly figures for you, 7 days times 2,800 calories is 19,600 total calories weekly. And 19,600 minus 3,500 equals 16,100 calories. That means Bob would need to consume roughly 16,000 calories each week to lose 1 pound of fat. Are you following me so far? So now let's put this into daily calorie targets, since you'll be trying to hit a daily target. Since 1 pound of fat, again, equals 3,500 calories, we divide 3,500 by 7 days, which equals 500 calories. Therefore, Bob's daily deficit will be 500 calories. So 2,800 calories minus 500 is a daily calorie target of 2,300 calories. Hope you are following me so far. So if Bob is very consistent with hitting his targets, we can give a rough estimate that in order to get from 200 pounds to 160 pounds, which is a total of 40 pounds, it will take him roughly 40 weeks or 10 months. But you know, if Bob starts slacking on his food tracking, or maybe he never actually learned how to track food properly, and he's starting to eat out more without keeping himself accountable to it, guess what? It's very likely that Bob takes a lot longer than 40 weeks, or he may not even get there at all. You need to understand something. This information I'm giving you is not a reinvention of the wheel. You can actually find this info anywhere on the internet right now. So this is all easy to access. Then why do so many people struggle with losing fat and keeping it off? I'll tell you why. Because it's not just about the food you eat or how you train in the gym. It's learning how to fix your mindset and relationship around food. It's having support when you're emotionally charged to smash 3 sleeves of Oreo cookies. It's learning how to navigate a holiday without feeling damn anxious and stressed about potentially losing all your gains. And it's knowing how to confidently implement all of this shit into your crazy life. That's what people need. And that's also why everyone doesn't succeed. Not everyone is willing to admit that they need help and to invest to get it. Moving on, if you're wondering about protein intake and how much to eat to maintain and build muscle as you diet down, take your body weight in pounds and multiply by 0.8. This is your daily protein requirement in grams. And if you are severely obese, you can take your target body weight and multiply by 0.8. For example, if you are 300 pounds and you want to get down to 220, take 220 times 0.8, and that equals around 176 grams, and just round to 175. I also recommend making sure you hit a fiber goal as well. Increasing fiber intake has been an absolute driver for our clients because it keeps you so much fuller for longer, making it easier to manage your hunger. When you manage your hunger, you naturally eat less, helping you hit your targets more consistently. You can aim for about 25 to 40 grams of fiber per day, depending on your size. And the last thing you need to know about fat loss is how to measure your progress. So 3 things. Number 1 is taking your weight every single morning after the bathroom and before food and water, and you will take your average of 7 days so you can see if you're moving in the right direction. And the reason why you weigh in every day is because you need to account for the inevitable daily water weight fluctuations. Here's why you don't weigh once a week. So let's say you only weigh in on Mondays, and this Monday you're at 80 kgs or 176 pounds. And then you're perfect with hitting your targets, all your meals were prepared and measured, and you walk 10,000 steps every day. But on Sunday, your mates ask you out for wings, you indulge a little bit, the free bread smelled too nice for you to say no to, and you had a pint of beer. Even with all this food you didn't plan for, you were still able to eat in a deficit all day. Power to you, bud. And then Monday rolls around again, you step on the scale, and what the fuck? 81 kgs, 178 pounds, you're telling me that I gained a kilo of fat this week even though I was nearly perfect. No, friend, you ate more carbs last night. The wings were salty as hell and you had some beer. All of these things make your body retain water, literally holding onto it. So it's not a kilo of fat gain, it's a kilo of water retention. But if you weighed in every day, you would see that your average of 7 days actually shows a loss of 0.3 pounds. And you've undoubtedly lost more body fat than 0.3 pounds because last night's wings and beer skewed it upwards. Get it now? Weigh yourself every single day. The second and third way you will measure your progress is taking measurements and photos every 2 weeks. Again, the scale never tells you the whole story, so you need more metrics to gauge what's really happening with your body. We have clients who don't lose weight for 3 weeks, but every time they take measurements and photos, their waist size is going down and they look noticeably leaner. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Hopefully this video contained everything you need to do to start losing body fat the right way. Again, the key thing on top of all these numbers is that you learn how to track your food for a solid period of time. Some of us are going on 40 years old without ever learning what food costs to our body. You don't need to track calories to lose fat, but calories ultimately count. If you need help tracking, if you want personal support to guarantee that you lose 20+ pounds and learn how to keep it off, there's a link in the description to apply for our coaching program built for busy professionals. Take care and keep building. Peace.